Until this interview, India had never seen or heard Rahul Gandhi take questions in a television interview. But when he spoke to Arnab Goswami on Frankly Speaking,
absolutely, were they completely wrong?
Breaking his 10-year silence, the world watched.
Nobody wants to talk. In Maharashtra, there is a...
And everything Rahul said would be measured. This episode has been the biggest and most controversial political interview of 2014.
Did the Sikh riots take place in Delhi? Absolutely. Were they completely wrong? Absolutely.
Were congressmen involved?
Did innocent people die? Absolutely.
Were congressmen involved?
Some congressmen probably were involved.
But has justice been delivered to them?
There is a legal process through which they have gone.
You admit some congressmen were probably involved?
Some congressmen have been punished for it.
In that case, why don't you apologize for the 1984 riots?
No, so
the congressmen who you are talking about are still fighting their cases. And in 2009, if I'm not mistaken, Jagdish Tytler, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, was going to get nominated as a Congress candidate. It was only following the media furor that his nomination was taken back. Mr. Gandhi, I'm asking you this question with all seriousness. Do you feel that the congressmen were involved? And two, do you believe that you personally, if you apologize for the riots, there will be a finality?
The fact of the matter is that innocent people died in 1984. And innocent people dying is a horrible thing and should not happen. Okay? The difference between Gujarat and 1984 was that the government of Gujarat was involved in the riots. The government.
How do you say that?
The
Chief Minister of Gujarat has been given the clean sheet by the courts.
The difference between the 84 riots and the riots in Gujarat was that in 1984, the government was trying to stop the riots. I remember, I was a child then, I remember that the government was doing everything it could to stop the riots. In Gujarat, the opposite was the case. The government in Gujarat was actually abetting and pushing the riots further. So there's a huge difference between the two things. Saying that innocent people dying is absolutely wrong.
Explain that. Government of Gujarat was aiding and abetting the riots, is what you just said. Explain that.
It's not me. It's large numbers of people who were there. It's large numbers of people who saw actively the government of Gujarat being involved in the riots.
And you keep that line despite the Chief Minister getting a clean sheet from the courts?
People saw it. I'm not the person who saw it. Your colleagues saw it. Your colleagues told me.
They saw riots. They didn't see the government of Gujarat.
They saw the administration. They saw the administration actively attacking minorities.
Are you saying the government of Gujarat was? What are you? What is?
What I'm saying is that there was a difference between the 1984 riots and the riots in Gujarat. The difference was that the government in 1984 was trying to stop the riots, was trying to stop the killing, whereas the government in Gujarat was allowing the riots.
And if the government in Delhi and in the center was trying to stop the riots in 1984, then tell me, how is it possible that Sajjan Kumar was named in FIRs on grounds of inciting violence in Outer Delhi leading to the murder of Sikhs? The status of the case is known. How is Jagdish Tytler accused of inciting the mob at Pul Bangash leading to murder and rioting in the area? How is the late HKL Bhagat accused of inciting violence? And you know that appeal in the Delhi High Court was closed after his death. How did these Congress leaders do what they did allegedly if the government was so strongly and proactively acting
against the process. There's a legal process, and that process is on.
There was an SIT finding. It was challenged by Zakia Jafri. It went up there, and the courts upheld what the SIT found. Are you questioning the wisdom of the courts, Mr.
All I'm saying is that there is a difference between the 1984 riots and the Gujarat riots. The simple difference is that in 1984, the government was not involved in the massacre of people. In Gujarat, it was. The question is, why do these type of things take place? Why is it that the Gujarat riots take place? The Gujarat riots take place, frankly, because of the way our system is structured. Because of the fact that people do not have a voice in the system. And what I want to do, and I've said it and I will say it again, what I want to do is question the fundamentals over here. What I want to do is ask a couple of questions. I want to ask why candidates that are chosen in every single party are chosen by tiny number of people. I want to ask why women have to be scared to go out in the street. I want to ask these questions. These are fundamental questions.
I appreciate that. You believe in transparency. I'll move away from Gujarat, though I must say that I have not found this comparison between 84 and Gujarat riots, that they are two different cases. I can't take this at face value, Mr. Gandhi, and the reason for this is because in both cases, the accusation is that the government could have done a little bit more. But at the same time, I want you to, once more, if you can, substantiate. You stand by what you said, that you believe the Chief Minister and the government of Gujarat played a role in abetting the riots? You stand by what you said?
What I'm saying is, there is a difference between the 1984 riots and the Gujarat riots. The difference is that the government of the day in 1984 was not aiding and abetting the riots.
Don't you believe the BJP has been far too arrogant with parties who could be potential allies?
No. You see, we would have loved to have alliances. And alliances with various parties which have been traditionally non-Congress.
Granted bail in the fodder scam, Rashtriya Janata Dal chief Lalu Prasad stayed away from the media glare for nearly 2 months. In his first interview after leaving jail, Lalu, in this exclusive chat with Arnab Goswami, spoke out on a resurgent BJP and his dream of fighting fascist forces and becoming the Prime Minister someday.
ये जो प्रोग्राम है, इंटरव्यू है, it's called Frankly Speaking Now.
Okay.
So I want you to be frank today, not diplomatic. क्योंकि कई लोग आजकल कहते हैं कि लालू प्रसाद जी आजकल बहुत डिप्लोमेटिक हो गए. He's not frank anymore. Is this true?
नहीं, इसमें जो हमने महसूस किया है कि बोलने से, ज़्यादा बोलने से अच्छा है चुप रहना. लेकिन चुप रहने का मतलब सो नहीं जाना, अपने काम में लगे रहना. क्योंकि जो जीभ है ना, ये टंग है, टंग, ये बुलवा देता है. जो भी बात होती बोलता है आदमी. जैसे अभी बहुत लोग बोलते हैं. और जब पीठ जो है, पीठ पिटाने लगता, पिटाई होती पीठ पे, तो जीभ गायब हो जाता. इसलिए ज़्यादा हमने महसूस किया कम बोलना, कम खाना, गम खाना, अपमान सहना. तो इसमें हमने ज़्यादा कोई बकवास वगैरह आप देखेंगे कि चुपचाप बहुत सारा दूर, मीडिया से भी मैं दूर रहता हूँ और लोगों से मैं दूर रहता हूँ.
From wanting to be the Prime Minister of India, Lalu ji, you became prisoner number 3312 in Birsa Munda jail. इससे तो आपको दुख भी होगा और गुस्सा भी आएगा अपने आप.
देखिए, हमको कोई दुख और तकलीफ नहीं है. मैं जानता हूँ कि जिस बिरसा मुंडा जेल में मैं था और जो हमारा फोरकास्ट था या जो हम बोलते थे, आज भी मैं आपको आगे बताऊंगा, हम डिस्करेज नहीं हैं. हम अपने पैरों से, जो हमारा दृढ़ संकल्प है, नो एविडेंस का केस है. एंड देयर इज ए हायरार्की इन द जुडिशियल सिस्टम.
Yes.
लोअर कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट, and each and every citizen of our country
Yes.
have right, legal right, constitutional right.
Yes.
Go to the apex court.
Sure.
What happened towards me?
Yes.
I cannot explain. The Tahalka.com has issued a magazine thoroughly. I'm not sitting here before you to discuss the merit and demerit. If the lower court will be take position of the Supreme Court, then in our country there is no need of High Court and the Supreme Court.
You got a long rope from the CBI because of your clout, first as Chief Minister, then as somebody who was part of the United Front government, then when you with the Congress government between 2004 and 2009,
No.
the case got permanently
No,
delayed
no.
and pushed and you were the beneficiary of it. How can the same Lalu Prasad today
No,
say
ये
that the
आपका-
CBI is trying to fix it?
कभी भी सीबीआई ने, कभी भी सीबीआई ने देवगौड़ा जी के समय में, गुजराल के समय में या कांग्रेस की गवर्नमेंट रही है, कहीं भी सीबीआई या वाजपेयी जी का, याद होगा आपको, जो आदमी मिसचिफ किया, जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन भी नहीं किया ढंग से, यूएन विश्वास, उसको ये एनडीए वाले, बीजेपी वाले गवर्नर बना चुके थे।
आप इस सब का इम्पैक्ट समझ रहे हैं कि नहीं लालू जी? सारे देश में आज करप्शन के खिलाफ एक बहुत बड़ा माहौल बन चुका है।
सारा चीज मैं समझ रहा हूँ, और जो सारी बात को मैं समझता हूँ
जी।
और जो ईमानदारी और ईमानदार का तगमा पहन के बैठे हुए हैं लोग,
इसके बाद
और हमारे जैसे लोगों को नाहक में हियर से सुनी सुनाई बातों पर हर आदमी को लिबर्टी हो गई है डेमोक्रेसी में, गाली दे दो, चोर का दो।
कौन गाली दे?
अब जो गाली दे रहा, जो मन में आता, निगेटिव माइंड वाला जितना लोग है, जिसकी इच्छा है राजनीति में आने का, आज वो राजनीति में आ रहे हैं गाली देके, पत्रकार आ रहे हैं। आप पार्टी, व्हाट इज आप पार्टी? आप पार्टी क्या है? निगेटिव माइंड, निगेटिव वोट, बाहर में रहना, सरकार से के बाहर रहना और सरकार के अंदर बैठ के राज चलाना आसान काम नहीं है। क्या हालत हो रहा है? हर आदमी चाहता है एक दूसरे को गाली दो। लालू चोर है, हम करप्ट हो गए, बाकी सब ईमानदार बचे हुए हैं।
कांग्रेस पार्टी आपको बचाने की कोशिश कर रही थी।
नहीं,
कई
नहीं,
लोग कैबिनेट में हैं जिनके राज्यसभा के टर्म भी आपके टाइम पे ही शुरू हुए। लालू जी,
इनका
कई लोग हैं आपके साथ संबंधी हैं, कई कांग्रेस एमपीज हैं आपके साथ काम कर चुके हैं, कई मिनिस्टर्स हैं जो आपके साथ काम कर चुके हैं। लालू जी, आपको पता है कि आपके लिए ये जो सारा जो ऑर्डिनेंस था, मैं आपकी बात सुन चुका हूं, मेरी बात अब सुनिए दो।
मैं तो जानता हूं
लालू जी, मेरी
ये तो एकदम बच्चा को किसी को झुनझुना देने के बाद हम कन्विक्ट हो गए या हो जाते उस समय, तो फिर ये हमारा कन्विक्शन कैसे बचता?
अच्छा, अच्छा देखिए, अभी आप मेरी बात सुनिए।
आप पढ़ा दो ना ऑर्डिनेंस में।
The Congress party, which was in power at the center, failed to protect the Babri Masjid as it did nothing.
Yes.
As it did nothing to prevent it. 1 minute. Now, let me complete. No, let me come. So then, you see, Laluji, every quote of yours, which I'm quoting is correct. Everything I'm quoting of yours is correct. But you are trying to stop me from quoting what you said because today you are desperate to do an alliance with the Congress party.
आप जो लाए हो पढ़ जाओ। आप पढ़ जाओ, सुना।
मैं आपको अपने बारे में आपने जो कहा वो पढ़ रहा हूं मैं।
आप हम बोले ही नहीं है।
Not only the BJP, the Congress party is equally responsible for the demolition of the Babri Masjid in Ayodhya.
लाओ कागज दिखाओ।
लालू प्रसाद अप्रैल 2009।
लाओ, नहीं तो टाइप कर लेना ऑफिस में।
लालू प्रसाद अप्रैल 2009।
लाओ ना पेपर, लाओ ना रिकॉर्ड। नहीं, आओ ना रिकॉर्ड। बात सुनिए पहले।
You are going to deny what you said.
ये नहीं बात, हम क्यों बोलेंगे?
This is
नहीं, बीजेपी, आरएसएस, बजरंग दल ये समूचा जाकर तोड़ा।
आपने कांग्रेस पार्टी के बारे में कहा दरभंगा में मनीगची में इलेक्शन मीटिंग हो रही थी, वहां पे आपने बोला, और एक बात आपने बोला, बोलो क्या बोला आपने बोला, इफ एनीवन कंटिन्यूज टू टॉक नॉनसेंस आई विल रिवील मोर। यानी कि आपने कांग्रेस पार्टी
बिल्कुल गलत,
आपने कांग्रेस पार्टी को चेतावनी दी।
ये चुनाव के पहले भारी कंस्पिरेसी है कम्युनल फोर्सेस के द्वारा कि जो ताकत नरेंद्र मोदी को रोकेगा उसको ऐसी बात करो। बाबरी मस्जिद के मामले में सुनिए, अगर आप होंगे तो।
Have you become a symbol of corruption?
हर आदमी।
Have you become?
No.
Have you become?
नहीं, हर आदमी, जो आदमी आ जाता है, सजा होता है, तो लोग समझता कि हाँ यही था, बाकी सब साधु बैठे हुए हैं। अरे हम निर्दोष हैं, बार बार मैं बोल रहा हूँ। हमारी जनता, हमारे लोग, हमारी जनता सारा जानता कि निर्दोष है। कैसे फंसाया गया, कैसे बीजेपी फंसाया, कैसे फिक्स किया।
So were you shocked when you went to jail? Please tell me. On that day when you were going into jail, मुझे लगा पिक्चर्स देख के कि you were in a state of shock. आप बिलीव नहीं कर पा रहे थे, आपके सपोर्टर्स नहीं बिलीव कर पा रहे थे, एक मिनट, कि लालू प्रसाद जो प्रधानमंत्री बनने वाले थे, वो बिरसा मुंडा जेल में
कोई
एक कैदी के तौर पे चले।
और ना भाई, कोई जानता है तो मजा ना आप लोग लिया। बाकी कैदियों की तो चिंता आपने नहीं की, आप लोगों ने मजा लिया ये बोल के कह के। अभी भी लालू यादव कैदी नंबर इतना, ये जितना मिसचिफ किया, आप मजा लिया या मजा लेते हैं, ये आज आपका
मजा लेने की बात,
ये आपका दोष नहीं है।
इसमें मजा लेने की
हजारों वर्षों से हमारे बाप दादों के साथ यही व्यवहार होते आया है।
They have not moved 1 inch, Mr. Modi, on the 2611 trial. And there will be
वो सारे इशू आज भी वैसे के वैसे खड़े हैं, आज भी खड़े हैं।
In the heat of the 2014 general election campaign, the swords were out as the fight got increasingly personal. At a time when the Congress, led by Rahul Gandhi, dragged Modi's personal life into the poll arena, the BJP had pulled out the Vadra card as a counter. Then a master BJP strategist and now the finance minister, Arun Jaitley fired a warning to the Congress on frankly speaking with Arnab Goswami, reminding the Gandhis of the skeletons in their cupboard.
10 years back when I was on the campaign trail with you, remember we were in Bangalore, interviewed you at that point of time. At that point also people were asking about whether Arun Jaitley will eventually fight a Lok Sabha election. You did a lot of campaign management.
You see, I have over the years, both because of the fact that I was a lawyer for a very long period, I was a Rajya Sabha member, acquired what's called a different image. My critics call it a soft image. And they probably thought that I won't contest an election. But when the party said...
You mean critics within your party?
No, a general commentator. I think critics is too harsh a word. And when the party decided and they asked me for my choice, I said, whatever the party decides, I'll honor that decision.
So it's a point you're proving.
It's not a point. You see, if you are a part of a collective decision making in a party, you take decisions whichever come your way.
Mr. Jaitley, we are talking at a time when members of the Sangh Parivar and the party affiliated organizations have caused great embarrassment.
Can I tell you something?
To the BJP. Just allow me to complete. Both you and Mr. Modi, you wrote a blog, Mr. Modi put out a tweet, you've disapproved of their remarks. But will a mere disapproval suffice?
See, let me tell you, every election sets its own agenda. This election is essentially about governance issues. The governance issues have created two impacts. One, a strong anti-incumbency against the Congress. Secondly, there is a hope in Mr. Modi and the BJP that he leads. Now, we have to confine ourselves on those issues. Now, if some wise men decide to alter the agenda, it certainly hurts us, it doesn't suit us.
It's deliberate?
I would not say that. You see, frankly, it would be unfair for me to impute a motive. People have been, a lot of our cadres, and I can tell you this is one of the problems, have been trained with an agitational approach. So to make some statements which is a part of the larger agitational approach forms a part of their style.
Mr. Jaitley, why are you, I don't understand why you're using words such as we ask our well-wishers to exercise restraint, kindly refrain from making these comments. You're a top leader. You should be instructing these leaders not to talk like this, not politely requesting them.
We are speaking and not frankly speaking when we deal with our own party people.
Why?
So everybody can't follow your style. We have to follow our style. Therefore, polite reminder, and people realize what they are supposed to say. After all, hasn't Giriraj Singh or Kadam for that matter or Uma Bharati restrained themselves from this?
My second point to you is on personal attacks and the whole issue of Robert Vadra. Now, you have amplified your attack on Vadra. I don't understand, Mr. Jaitley, can you please tell me why you have changed Priyanka Gandhi's, the way you refer to Priyanka Gandhi? There are two blogs of yours on April 14th in your campaign diary, by the way, which you now have become popular for. You put out a campaign diary, April 14th, you say, Priyanka Gandhi has agreed to contest the Varanasi seat. On April 23rd, it becomes Priyanka Vadra.
Well, that's how
Ms.
the media,
Priyanka Vadra should not be in politics.
Well,
that's not media.
I have no method in it. The media alternatively refers to her as a Gandhi or a Vadra. As far as I am concerned, it makes no difference. I would not like to show any personal disapproval or anything which is discourteous to refer to somebody as...
Why are you targeting her on Robert?
No, I am not personal. Let's be very clear. She made a statement saying that it hurts me when my husband is attacked.
Yes.
It hurts my children.
Yes.
I politely reminded her that I agree with you that personal attacks should be avoided. Corruption is not a personal matter, it's a public issue. But then, is your party and your family willing to listen to you? Your brother took up the issue of Snoopgate and brought it. He took up the issue of Mr. Modi's marriage. Her mother took up the issue of calling Modi a maut ka saudagar.
What's wrong with that? Why should there be a moratorium on political attacks by the opposition leaders?
Well, what applies for the goose applies for the gander. Therefore, there should not be a moratorium. If somebody has made money in an extraordinary manner, why should there be a moratorium?
But Mr. Jaitley, your party has not been very kind either. You have used all kinds of words. For example, let me ask you. You have, in your own blogs, Mr. Jaitley, you have referred to Sonia Gandhi's foreign origin in response to Amarinder Singh calling you an outsider. Then yes. You have mocked her televised appeal by using this "Main nahi mom" bar. "Main nahi mom," which was your catchphrase.
Have we lost our sense of humor or not? Let me just stop you at both these. Rahul Gandhi led the campaign with a slogan called "Main nahi hum," and then suddenly all of you did programs. That this sudden appeal, the son goes into the background and the mother is told it's your appeal that will work. Therefore, I punned on that slogan and said, "Main nahi hum."
So you're saying that was...
I think even in the intensity of a political campaign, there is some space for humor. And therefore, I thought the comment was received quite well.
No, but you expect people to believe, Mr. Jaitley, that you've not picked up the Vadra issue as a response to Rahul Gandhi's picking up the issue of Mr. Narendra Modi's marriage?
No, Arnab, I have never...
Is there not a link between these two?
No, there is a link.
There is a link.
There is a link, and let me explain to you the link. I have, as a rule, never spoken on persons. I speak on issues. I have breached that rule twice myself. The first I breached it when Rahul Gandhi took up the issue of the so-called child marriage of Mr. Modi. I reminded him that this is a legitimate child marriage, which is on paper. He's disclosed the truth. If you want to go this far about legally valid relationships which may not have been acted upon...
Why do you say go so far?
How is it an issue? How is it an issue?
Kapil Sibal says it's a technical issue. We're raising it technically. That's
no,
why
it's
we went
not
to
a
the
technical...
Election Commission.
Let Mr. Kapil Sibal also remember. And Mr. Kapil Sibal himself remember. And that is what I reminded everybody. There are a large number of people in public life, in the Congress party, who have relationships which are not legitimate. Have we ever questioned them?
How is that an issue? Now that's a threat.
You see, no,
From
it
your
was
side,
a
that's
threat. Yes, you are right, Arnab, you've got it right. It was a threat. And the threat was, if you try and make a legitimate relationship not acted upon into an issue, then other relationships, I didn't name anybody, can also be made an issue. And I'm glad the Congress party responded to them. Some wiser sense prevailed and said, we dropped the issue. That's when they dropped the issue. Otherwise, if you go into a situation where legitimate and illegitimate relationships, personal lives become issues, Indian politics will be a mess. Congress started it. They had to be given a rap on the knuckles. They had to be reminded that they have too many skeletons in their cupboard.
Why do you call it skeletons in the cupboard?
Well, if all the disclosures come out, it won't be a very pleasant thing for them also.
What kind of disclosures?
Well, why should I name them? When I didn't name them in my blog, I'm not going to name them before you. You know what I'm talking about and they know what I'm talking about. So I had to remind them. When you said threat, it was a veiled, threat is not the right word, a reminder. Not a polite reminder, but a firm reminder, let's not go on this track.
Why has the Congress party fielded Amarinder Singh against you? When you picked up the Amritsar challenge, Mr. Jaitley, you were not prepared to have Amarinder Singh as your...
Well, I obviously knew they would be a Congress candidate. The Congress doesn't exactly love me. So they are going to put up somebody formidable against me. And I'm prepared for that kind of a challenge.
But you were not prepared for Amarinder Singh when you came.
Well, I am not interested who they would have put up. They would have put up somebody strong. They put up Amarinder Singh. I'll face the challenge.
Why didn't you choose a safer seat? I mean, why? I mean, Mr. Jaitley, please don't look upon me with so much incredulity. This is a seat which, if I am not mistaken, BJP won with some 7,000 votes in 2009.
Between 2009 and 2014, there is a world of difference in the political environment of the country.
But you could have asked for a safe seat.
In 2009, we won only 10 seats in UP. Today, we'll win probably 5 to 6 times more.
You're not answering my question. You could have chosen a safer seat if you want.
You see, if the party decides on a particular seat and you are convinced that you are going to win that seat, why must you say no?
Where do you see yourself, Mr. Jaitley? What about your own ambitions?
Well, I must tell you,
you were a very ambitious lawyer, weren't you?
Today I have only one ambition at the moment, and I'm not seeing beyond that. And that one ambition is that the Congress must be voted out of power. Our government must be installed. and I think this is Mr. Modi's election. He's legitimately entitled to be the Prime Minister.
In the thick of the election campaign, the BJP found itself in a position it hoped it could have avoided. Tickets to the tainted, ranks in disarray, and dissenting voices in public. At the helm of the party then was the current Home Minister, Rajnath Singh. On this episode of Frankly Speaking with Arnab Goswami, he set the record straight on the Modi-Advani tension, reports of Sushma Jaitley fireworks, and made it clear that under his leadership, it would be nation first, party second, and individual next.
भाजपा सरकार और मोदी सरकार, ये कंफ्यूजन क्या है? एक तरह से
क्या बात है, भाजपा और मोदी को अलग करके क्यों देखा जा रहा है?
नहीं, कोई अलग करके नहीं देख रहा है।
मुझे आश्चर्य हुआ,
क्या आप ये कह रहे हैं कि मोदी सरकार और भाजपा सरकार?
मुझे अड़ो आश्चर्य हुआ कि कल अनावश्यक से हाइप क्रिएट की जा रही है।
हाइप क्या है उसमें?
अब ऐसा है कि जो हमारे साथ जो व्यक्ति रहता है उसने ट्वीट कर दिया
जी,
अथवा वो क्या मामला था, या तो फेसबुक पर था या क्या था, कैसे था, पूरे उस डिटेल में जाने की मैंने कोई ज़रूरत नहीं समझी है उसमें। फिर उसके बाद उसे लगा कि एक आध दो लोग अनावश्यक वो कर रहे हैं,
तो फिर दूसरा एक ट्वीट कर
कहा उसने। मैंने पूछा क्यों ऐसा क्या? मैंने बीजेपी और मोदी ये दोनों लोग एक दूसरे से अलग नहीं किए जा सकते। और आज नरेंद्र भाई मोदी यदि हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर कैंडिडेट हैं तो बीजेपी पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड का डिसीजन है, तो इन दोनों लोगों को अलग करके को देखा जाता है। मुझे तो
यानी कि यू आर सेइंग दैट मोदी इक्वल्स बीजेपी। वन मिनट, मोदी इक्वल्स बीजेपी, बीजेपी इक्वल्स मोदी?
नहीं, सब एक दूसरे के, माने हम बीजेपी के हैं। पॉलिटिकल दृष्टि से यदि देखा जाए तो हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि हमारा एग्जिस्टेंस, पॉलिटिकल एग्जिस्टेंस वो केवल हमारे कारण है। हमारा यदि पॉलिटिकल एग्जिस्टेंस है तो बीजेपी के कारण है,
इंक्लूडिंग मोदी।
ने सारे लोग जितने भी बीजेपी में हैं, मोदी को आइसोलेट करके हम क्यों देखें?
नहीं, बट बीजेपी कम्स फर्स्ट।
और मैं नरेंद्र भाई,
राजनाथ सिंह जी, टेल मी वन थिंग ऑनेस्टली, व्हाट कम्स फर्स्ट? पहला क्या आते हैं? क्या पहले मोदी आते हैं कि पहले बीजेपी आते हैं? डज द बीजेपी कम फर्स्ट और डज मोदी कम फर्स्ट?
पहले हम जिस पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को चला रहे हैं उस पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के मोटोज के बारे में आपको जानकारी दे देना चाहता हूं। फर्स्ट कंट्री, नेशन, सेकंड पार्टी, थर्ड इंडिविजुअल।
एंड दैट लॉजिक अप्लाइज टू द बीजेपी एज वेल?
बिल्कुल, सभी के लिए।
सो इट्स द पार्टी फर्स्ट एंड देन द इंडिविजुअल?
देन इंडिविजुअल। नहीं, फर्स्ट नेशन, second party, third individual.
So in that sense, that cannot change even if there is an emphasis on Modi Sarkar. For the BJP, no. It's the BJP first and then Modi.
यह तो हम लोगों ने निर्णय किया है, जिसे प्राइम मिनिस्टर कैंडिडेट के रूप में प्रोजेक्ट किया है हमने। बट नेचुरल है कि हम उसको हाईलाइट करने की कोशिश करेंगे, क्योंकि गुजरात के चीफ मिनिस्टर के रूप में भी जैसा परफॉर्मेंस रहा है, सब छोड़िए, राजीव गांधी फाउंडेशन ने भी उसकी सराहना की है।
मगर
तो ये बताइए हम क्यों ना उस अपने प्राइम मिनिस्टर कैंडिडेट को हाईलाइट करें?
So my question to you is that today you are saying on the frankly speaking interview, Rajnath Singh जी, कि कोई भी कल अगर भाजपा की सरकार हो तो विदाउट डाउट 100% इट विल बी अ मोदी सरकार।
नहीं, इसमें कहीं दो राय नहीं है। बीजेपी की गवर्नमेंट बनेगी
जी
तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र भाई मोदी होंगे, इसमें कहीं दो मत नहीं है।
एक मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी की गैदरिंग हुई थी बीजेपी के माइनॉरिटी विंग के साथ, आप जानते हैं, 25 फरवरी को, और आपने कहा प्लीज नोट दैट व्हेनेवर वेरेवर इफ देयर हैज बीन एनी मिस्टेक और शॉर्टकमिंग ऑन आवर पार्ट, आई अश्योर यू दैट वी विल अपोलोजाइज टू यू बाय बाउइंग आवर हेड्स। आपने कहा हम लोगों के पार्ट पर अगर कोई गलती और चूक हुई है तो मैं आपको यकीन दिलाता हूं।
मैं करना चाहता हूं, 25 फरवरी को जो कुछ भी कहा था वो सच है, मैंने कहा था, लेकिन पहले का सेंटेंस आप नहीं पढ़ना है।
कौन सा?
आज तक हम लोगों ने कास्ट, क्रीड और रिलीजन के बेसिस पर किसी प्रकार का कोई डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं किया है, यह बात कहते हुए कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ। और यदि कभी इन फ्यूचर यदि हम लोगों से कहीं भी किसी जाति, किसी पंथ अथवा किसी मजहब, किसी धर्मावलंबी के साथ यदि कोई गलती भी हो जाएगी तो उस गलती के लिए हम शीश झुकाकर क्षमा मांगने को तैयार हैं। यह बात मैंने कही।
सारे कितने मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी के लीडर्स ने यह कहा है? एक तो गुजरात और दूसरा बाबरी मस्जिद की जो डेमोलिशन हुई थी। एक मिनट, क्या वो गलती नहीं थी कि चूक नहीं थी जो सेंटिमेंट बनी थी उस वक्त, जिसके कारण से कारसेवक जाके बाबरी मस्जिद को तोड़ के उन्होंने उसको निशाना बनाया, क्या आपको नहीं लगता है राजनाथ सिंह जी की वो चूक थी, वो गलती थी?
मैं देखिए, ऐसा मैं मानता हूं कि वहां पर जो कुछ भी हुआ क्राउड का एक सेंटिमेंट था, उसके कारण हुआ।
चूक थी, गलती थी?
नहीं, लेकिन बीजेपी ने इसे यह कॉन्स्पिरेसी की हो वहां पर यह करने के लिए, मैं यह कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ कह सकता हूं कि बीजेपी इस प्रकार की कॉन्स्पिरेसी नहीं करती है। जो किसी भी व्यक्ति के सेंटिमेंट को, उसकी फीलिंग्स को कभी भी हर्ट नहीं, उसके फेथ को कभी भी हर्ट नहीं करना न किया है और न हम फ्यूचर में करना
जिन्होंने
चाहेंगे।
किया बाबरी मस्जिद को गिराकर, क्या
मामला सब जुडिस है।
क्या उनसे जिन्होंने गिराया, जो जिन लोगों ने, व्यक्तियों ने जाके वहां पे उन्होंने तोड़ा, क्या उनसे गलती हुई, क्या उनसे चूक हुई?
देखिए,
ये सवाल
सबसे बड़ी बात मैं कहना चाहता हूं, मैं किसी को गलत अथवा किसी को सही मैं सीधे नहीं ठहरा सकता। यह मामला सब जुडिस हो। जैसे आपने देखा गुजरात के मामले में, क्या बहुत सारे लोगों की सजा नहीं हुई है? जो हिंदू कम्युनिटी के हैं उनकी सजा नहीं हुई है? क्या हम लोगों ने रोका है उसे?
उनमें
मैं समझता हूं कि यह भी केस इस समय सब जुडिस है।
मगर मैंने
यह भी केस सब जुडिस है। जजमेंट की प्रतीक्षा करिए, जो दोषी होंगे सबको सजा मिलेगी।
Sub judice against leaders. My question to you is, what in your view constitutes a shortcoming or mistake? I give you 3 examples. One is the Gujarat riots. Whoever was responsible for it, on their part, of course, it was terrible. You will not accept that it is a shortcoming or mistake. The Gujarat riots were not a shortcoming or mistake.
मैं ऐसा नहीं मानता हूं, क्योंकि मैं चीफ मिनिस्टर रहा हूं और मैं जानता हूं कि कभी भी कोई चीफ मिनिस्टर नहीं चाहेगा उसके चीफ मिनिस्टर रहते हुए उसकी स्टेट में किसी प्रकार की एनार्की पैदा हो, वो कभी नहीं।
यानी कि गुजरात राइट्स, मायाबेन कोडनानी या फिर बाबरी मस्जिद डेमोलिशन,
कुछ भी हो,
कोई चूक या गलती नहीं हुई?
नहीं, मैं ऐसा नहीं मानता हूं कि गुजरात में कभी भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने दंगा भड़काने की अपनी तरफ से कोई कोशिश नहीं की, क्योंकि दंगों का जहां तक सवाल है, कास्ट रिलीजन के बेसिस पर किसी प्रकार के डिस्क्रिमिनेशन का सवाल है, मैं समझता हूं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी से कभी जस्टिफाई नहीं करती।
आपने हर स्पीच पे आप कहते हैं माँ बेटी की सरकार, माँ बेटी की सरकार।
संजय बारू की किताब के बाद मैंने माँ बेटी की सरकार बोलना शुरू किया है, उसके पहले नहीं बोला। चलिए आगे आ जाइए, अच्छा लगेगा मुझे।
अच्छा लगेगा।
A fallout with the Congress and ideological differences with the BJP. Even before the elections of 2014, India knew that Mamata Banerjee could be a kingmaker post May 16th. But it was on Frankly Speaking with Arnab Goswami that Mamata first shook up the 2014 dynamics, 1 month ahead of elections. It was on this episode that Mamata endorsed AIADMK chief J. Jayalalitha for the Prime Minister's post, while keeping the option of a third front with Maya, Patnaik and Jaya open.
2014 has become the most important battle of your life. Even more important than the 2016 elections. Somewhere, you are aiming directly for the national to play a role in Delhi. Is there any doubt in your mind about that?
First of all, I want to tell you that 2014 is important, 2015 is important, 16 is important. Every day is important for any human being. Every moment is important. So I don't compare with this, that only this election is important and other election is not important.
You're not answering my question.
No, I am not. That's why I am telling you that, yes, I know my limitation. I want that this country should get a stable government. Economic stability is also needed. And political system is to be changed. I cannot say that I will be for the chair. But I can say that let us believe and trust, or full trust to the people. Let people decide the things.
How can Mamata Banerjee, who will get 30 seats, in Bengal, say you get 30 seats in Bengal, provide a stable government in Delhi?
Don't underestimate us. Election, media can say something, but it is the people who will decide the fate of this country. So don't think that 30 or 40, it can be 100 also. So I cannot say like
Congress get 100 seats?
That people will decide. You are not, I am also not.
You are a strong votary of the idea of a federal front. You've been talking of a federal front. Ms. Banerjee, since we are talking frankly today, I must ask you that do you recall what you said in April 2009, just 1 month ahead of the general elections of 2009? Ms. Banerjee, you dismissed the idea of a third front. You predicted that this will break up.
You claim that eventually regional parties will go around a national party and form an alliance. I can quote what you said. You said this at an election rally, several election rallies, and I can quote what you said at that point of time. You said that all the political parties that have formed the third front have a personal agenda, and in fulfilling them, the front will break up. It is quite obvious all these regional parties will flock together to either the UP or NDA as soon as they come to know which of the two major national parties will have a fair chance of forming the next government. So you have totally changed your position in 5 years.
Who said so? That time also I said third front is a tired front.
Yes.
Now also I am saying the same thing. There is no change.
What is the difference between a third front and a federal front?
Federal front, all the federal, I want to see that state should be strong and federal structure should be strong for the interest of the state. You know, without state the central cannot play the role. I believe that policy that central government only sitting in Delhi, they cannot run the government. Our attitude should be changed. We must go to the state and state must go to the block level. I have already done 54 meetings, or not only the district magistrate, the Jilla level. This is the only government we have done within these 3 years, 54 meetings at the grassroots level. We met the block level officer. If a state government can meet the block level officer, the central government, of course they can meet the district level officer. And that.
Does your party not stand isolated?
No, this is not at all.
Hasn't the left, already taken a lead in this with all these other national parties with them?
They cannot take lead. Who have lost all the credentials, they cannot lead. This is just a tea party, nothing else.
Tea party?
Sometimes they can call a tea break or some lunch break.
9 parties have come together to sign up with the left. You call it a tea party?
No, this is not. This is not. Before election, do you think that everybody will settle their future? You ask any other political party. Nobody will give you the clear picture before election. It is just they have sat together, and after that also you have seen how the alliance is also going on.
If Narendra Modi gets the number of seats that is enough, but he requires the assistance of the Trinamool Congress to get a simple majority and be Prime Minister, will you support him?
You give the support, we cannot.
You
give the support from your press media, but I cannot.
I cannot support. I am not a political party. You are.
And what you said that under the leadership of Narendra Modi, BJP has decided, it is their party decision. Who will be their party leader? Who will be their candidate? It is their prerogative. Congress can decide their candidate. BJP can decide their candidate. We can decide our candidate. But I cannot interfere in other party business.
Is your problem with Modi? Is your problem with the BJP?
I said we cannot adjust with them. I said
BJP.
My answer is very clear. I cannot adjust with the communal forces. Is okay.
No.
The chapter is
no.
I said you asked me a question. I said not possible.
Mr. Vajpayee was Prime Minister.
He was a secular man.
Are there any secular people in the BJP?
That I cannot discuss because it is not the research that I am doing here.
But you are avoiding the question. You are keeping yourself open to the BJP.
I cannot satisfy you. What you have limitation to ask the question. I have my prerogative to reply the question.
How will Mamata Banerjee be part of a force or have equity in a force that has at least about 100 MPs with it? Who will come together? Are you in touch with Jayalalitha?
I am telling you one thing. I know my limitation. I know my limitation. That's why I said we can play key role. We can play important role. But I am with all. Even if somebody to take the lead, I'll be happy to support them. But I want that federal structure should be strong. And I have a good relation with all the political parties.
Are you in touch with Jayalalitha?
Sometimes, yes.
What do you think of Ms. Jayalalitha?
It's good. And doing the administrative job. Why I will not appreciate them?
It's quite clear, isn't it? I'm sure you follow what she's saying, that she has national ambitions.
Yes, she is having.
She's having national ambitions.
Yes, it may be. It can be. What is wrong?
I'm not saying it's wrong.
Nothing is wrong.
Have you made peace with the Maoists by doing so?
Peace? Whoever is interested,
political peace.
Whoever, of course, in our country, we have to see the policy that if anybody is interested to join the national stream, we have to encourage that. And two, we have to tell the Maoists that please leave these banduks and all this. Don't go for bloodshed and all this. If you have a political discussion, if you have a political discretion, you can discuss. Always you can discuss the things, but you cannot kill the people.
Do you have a terrible temper when it comes to people who criticize you, Ms. Banerjee?
Who said?
But several times in the past.
In Bengal, I am telling you, Bengal and all India, I have seen when I was a railway minister also. Every time you people have used to say, that I am staying in Bengal, I don't give time for Delhi. I have seen all this criticism. I do not know, some people are totally against of me because I am not from this hi-fi class. I am from the grassroots level.
Where does the
It may
class
be.
issue come here?
Class issue comes here, yes. There are some classic people in this country who believe not the class struggle, who believe the classical world.
Who are these
They
classic
don't
people?
fly. There are some people. They control the media also in some times. So they give this type of rumor that I don't mind for this. But I am very much media friendly. You ask the people, the media people.
But
That
can you
my
see
task
yourself
is
working
this.
in Delhi?
I started my career from Bengal. Bengal is my first priority place. And if I get the opportunity to help the center, then of course we have to do the jobs. And I believe that only sitting in Delhi, it is not the. You have to change the outlook. You have to go to the state.
In a year that saw the most historic election mandate since independence, this interview completed the build-up on India's election news headquarters. In his last interview as the Prime Ministerial nominee, a confident Narendra Modi laid out his vision for India, while speaking on a range of issues from economy to Pakistan. From the Rahul Gandhi interview in January to the Modi exclusive in May, Frankly Speaking with Arnab Goswami reiterated why it is the most respected and definitive interview-based news show on Indian television.
When Priyanka Gandhi responded to your Amethi rally, जब उन्होंने respond किया, उन्होंने कहा कि your comments on Rajiv Gandhi were low-level politics, but you chose to pick up only the words low-level, and you made it a duel or a confrontation over caste. Why did you give it a caste spin? And by giving it a caste spin, were you not aware that you would deliberately be getting caste back into this election in a big way? This election could have avoided the issue of
मैं
caste.
हैरान हूँ टाइम्स नाउ को इस परिवार को प्रोटेक्ट करने में इतना इंटरेस्ट क्यों है? क्या टाइम्स नाउ का जिम्मा नहीं है कि राजीव गांधी के संबंध में जो बोला है पूरा का पूरा दुनिया को दिखाइए? एक शब्द बुरा हो, कटुता का हो, मैं सार्वजनिक रूप से क्षमा मांगने को तैयार हूँ। मैंने एक फैक्चुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन दी है, जो फैक्चुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल है। मैंने ये कहा कि हैदराबाद के एयरपोर्ट पर आंध्र के चुने हुए मुख्यमंत्री का अपमान हुआ था। क्या इस बात को इनकार कर सकते हैं? कर सकते हैं? क्या इस देश की जनता को फैक्चुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन देना गलत है क्या? अगर पंडित नेहरू के ज़माने में कोई फैक्चुअल एरर हुआ, वो आज देश में कोई बताता है, तो क्या वो हम नेहरू जी का अपमान कर रहे हैं क्या? क्या हिस्ट्री में किसी चीज़ों का कोई चर्चा ही नहीं होगा क्या? हाँ, मैंने राजीव जी के लिए कुछ भद्दा बुरा बोला हूँ, तो उनकी बेटी के नाते गुस्सा, इससे भी ज़्यादा गुस्सा करने का हक है, उसके लिए मुझे कोई इतराज़ नहीं है। लेकिन आप उस बात की आप ही चर्चा न करो और मेरे गले में मर दो, तो ये तो शोभा नहीं देता है। और मैं चाहूँगा कि टाइम्स नाउ ये हिम्मत बताएं कि मोदी ने कहा फैक्चुअल क्या है, फैक्चुअल एरर है, और मेरे शब्द प्रयोगों में, ठीक है, कभी कभी आम सभा में बोलते हैं, एक कंटिन्यूटी होती है, एक शब्द कभी इधर उधर आता, लेकिन इसमें तो नहीं आया है, इसमें तो नहीं आया है। तो आपको तो इमोशनल ब्लैकमेलिंग करने का हक बनता है, लेकिन हमें सत्य रखने का भी अधिकार नहीं है, इसलिए कि हम एक सामान्य समाज से आए, सामान्य परिवार से आए। कि ये देश ऐसा हो गया है, ये मेरा लोकतंत्र ऐसा हो गया है कि जो पूरा एक परिवार को समर्पित हो जाए और एक गरीब आदमी कुछ बात बोले तो सारी दुनिया टूट पड़े।
मोदी जी, क्या आप मानते हैं, दिस our country, now it's 24 years after Mandal, 22 years after the Babri Masjid demolition. Many people felt that this election was a real opportunity to move beyond caste and to move totally beyond religion. And that you could have played a role in actually making sure that the focus totally moves away from caste and religion. My question to you, Mr. Modi, is that when people like Amit Shah said Mullah Mulayam, there was a religious symbolism to it. When Giriraj Singh says those who don't vote for Modi should go to Pakistan, Pakistan is their Makkah Medina, there is a clear religious overtone to it. You did tweet against it. You indicated that you disapproved of it. But you could have come out much stronger. You could have publicly taken a position, been tougher, been harsher. And had you done that, with the stature you command...
अगर वो मैं न करता, मेरी इंटरनल व्यवस्था में वो न किया होता, तो वो कंटिन्यू नहीं रहता क्या? बंद हो गया कि नहीं? बंद हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? इसका मतलब मैंने कोई टफ स्टैंड लिया है, इतना तो आप भी समझ सकते हो। लेकिन वो मुझे मीडिया में जाकर के हो हल्ला करना चाहिए, जरूरी थोड़ा है क्या?
Do you feel you could have been tougher?
मैं हो टफर हुआ हूँ, इसीलिए तो हुआ है जी। मैं ऐसी चीज़ों को ना मैं खुद करता हूँ जी।
In your manifesto, you said good governance and development. But in your manifesto, you also say that India shall remain a natural home for persecuted Hindus. And these persecuted Hindus will be welcome to seek refuge here. My very simple question to you is, बहुत simple सवाल है, why only persecuted Hindus, Mr. Modi? Why not persecuted Buddhists? Why not persecuted Sikhs? Why not persecuted Jains? Why not persecuted Muslims or persecuted Christians? Because if the BJP speaks the language of inclusion, then Mr. Modi, your manifesto should have said persecuted
आप
Sikhs,
जो बोलते हैं
Jains,
सब, आप जो बोलते हैं सब मैं मानने को तैयार हूँ।
but it's not in your manifesto.
हम मानते हैं कि सब हमारे ही लोग हैं इस देश में पले बड़े सब। इसको दुनिया सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट के अनुसार हिंदू ये रिलीजन नहीं है, हिंदू ये वे ऑफ लाइफ है। आप रिलीजन में चले गए, हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट के हिसाब से चलते हैं। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट के हिसाब से हिंदू ये वे ऑफ लाइफ है, और उसमें न बुद्ध को इतराज है न सिख को इतराज है। इतना ही नहीं, आज भी केरल में हमारे ईसाई संप्रदाय ऐसे हैं जो इसी प्रकार से जीवन जीते हैं। ये आप डिस्क्रिमिनेट करते हैं, हम नहीं करते हैं।
नहीं, मगर आपके मैनिफेस्टो में तो सिर्फ हिंदूज का रेफरेंस था।
हम हिंदू रेफरेंस जो करते हैं वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट के हिसाब से करते हैं, वे ऑफ लाइफ के रिलीजन के हिसाब से नहीं करते।
So the reference to Hindus in the manifesto
वी हैव नथिंग टू, वी डोंट बिलीव दैट। हम मानने को तैयार नहीं, हिंदू रिलीजन है, हम मानने को तैयार नहीं है। हिंदू इज ए वे ऑफ लाइफ।
So you are saying all persecuted people whose families may be of Indian origin, whether they are Christian or Muslim or Sikhs or Jains, that India is their natural home? Is that what you're saying?
बिल्कुल स्वाभाविक है भाई, लेकिन इसका मतलब आप विभाजन के जोड़ना मत, वरना आप 1947 की घटना को भी जोड़ के कर दोगे।
नहीं, मैं
तो ये खेल मत करना।
नहीं, मैं
बताता हूँ, मैं साफ बताता हूँ, मुझे कोई संकोच नहीं है, और मैं वोट बैंक की राजनीति के लिए उलझता नहीं हूँ जी। वोट आते हैं, सरकारें आती हैं, जाती है, जाने दीजिए। देश अजरा अमर होता है। दुनिया के किसी भी देश में रहने वाला व्यक्ति जिसका पासपोर्ट का कलर कोई भी हो, खून का रंग अगर हमसे मिलता है, उसका हक बनता है हिंदुस्तान में।
मोदी जी, राहुल गांधी के साथ जब मैंने इंटरव्यू किया था जनवरी में, जब कैंपेन शुरू हुआ था, आई डन इंटरव्यू विद राहुल गांधी सिंस ही वाज बीइंग प्रोजेक्टेड बाय द पार्टी एज नॉट इट्स प्राइम मिनिस्टरियल कैंडिडेट बट their principal campaigner. So I had asked him one question in the context of the 1984 riots. I said to him that, are any congressmen, do you think any congressmen when you look back were involved in the 1984 riots? My question to you is this, that in your view, were any members of the Sangh Parivar, VHP, BJP involved in the 2002 riots?
मैं मानता हूँ कि गुजरात के दंगों में जितना वाइब्रेंट जुडिशरी रही है, जितना एक्टिविज्म रहा है जुडिशरी का, और जितना वाइब्रेंट मीडिया रहा है, और जितना ओवर एक्टिव एनजीओज रहे हैं, जितना इंटरनेशनल एजेंसियां रही हैं, उसके बाद सारी स्क्रूटनी के बाद मैं मानता हूं उनको निर्णय करने दीजिए। मोदी के सर्टिफिकेट की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है, और मोदी के सर्टिफिकेट पर भरोसा भी नहीं करना चाहिए। मोदी के सर्टिफिकेट पे जरा भी विश्वास नहीं करना चाहिए। कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अथॉरिटीज़ पर ही भरोसा करना चाहिए। एंड लेट, उन्होंने किया है, आगे भी करेंगे।
Modi, tell me, are you absolutely sure that there are all these parties who you have severely criticized and they have severely criticized? Are you, that you will not seek the support of these parties who have bitterly criticized you and who you have bitterly criticized in the course of this campaign? I'm talking about parties like Mayawati, Mamta Banerjee, even Jayalalitha to some extent, even Naveen Patnaik to some extent. Can you do business with them if you have to?
देखिए, मैं बताता हूँ, आप चुनाव अभियान की जो बातें हैं ना, उसके आधार पर राजनीति नहीं चलती है भाई। आप थोड़ा पुराना इतिहास देख लीजिए ना, पुराना इतिहास। चुनाव की राजनीति, चुनाव एक अलग माहौल होता है, लोक शिक्षा करना एक जिम्मेवारी होती है। हर दल अपनी बात बताता है, अलग अलग तरीके से बताता है, और इसलिए इस चीज़ों को मत चिंता कीजिए, इसकी चिंता मत कीजिए। देखिए, मैं बताता हूँ, जिस दिन मोदी को प्रधानमंत्री पद का उम्मीदवार घोषित किया गया, तब देश के सभी मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया का एक ही सेंट्रल स्टोरी था कि बीजेपी को कोई साथी नहीं मिलेंगे, सेंट्रल स्टोरी था। और हिंदुस्तान के राजनीतिक इतिहास में ये पहला चुनाव ऐसा है कि जिसमें बीजेपी के साथ 25 पार्टियां प्री पोल अलायंस के साथ चुनाव लड़ रही है। एनडीए के समय भी कभी प्री पोल अलायंस हमारा नहीं हुआ था, कांग्रेस का भी कभी इतना बड़ा प्री पोल अलायंस नहीं हुआ था। और इसलिए ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड से भी एनालिसिस करें, अरिथमेटिक छोड़ दो, केमिस्ट्री छोड़ दो, तो भी कुछ आपके सवालों का जवाब अपने आप मिल जाता है।
एक बात है कि क्या आपको नहीं लगता कि यू शुड हैव केप्ट द डोर ओपन विद ममता, with मायावती if required?
डोर ओपन रखने का ये भी तो तरीका हो सकता है।
मैं समझ में नहीं आया मुझे।
जितना समझा सकता हूँ बता दिया। ये भी तो डोर ओपन का तरीका हो सकता है।
जरा विस्तृत रूप से समझाइए।
अब ज़्यादा अभी नहीं करूँगा, 12 के बाद करूँगा।
क्या रॉबर्ट वाड्रा के बारे में जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई मोदी जी, वो एक तरह से जो दामाद श्री करके एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई थी, आई थिंक 2-3 हफ्ते पहले, तो isn't that a indication of the BJP, and since you are the prime ministerial candidate, your personal vendetta against the Gandhi family?
मेरा 14 साल का ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है, कोई मेरे पर वेंडेटा का आरोप नहीं लगा सकता, कोई सोच नहीं सकता। और इस विषय में मैं बार बार बोल चुका हूँ, करप्शन के विषय ये चुनाव का मुद्दा है, चुनाव का मुद्दा है। मुझ पर इतने गलीच और झूठे आरोप लगाए गए हैं, इसको देखने की आपको फुर्सत नहीं है। लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने सिर्फ हकीकतें देखी देश के सामने, और उसको आप वेंडेटा में ले जाते हो। ये कौन सा न्याय है आपका?
Will you allow talks to continue despite ceasefire violations, despite infiltrations? Because these ceasefire violations and infiltrations have really crossed all limits, especially in the last 5 years of the UPA. In your speeches, you've taken a very strong view on it. Can talks and terror continue?
बम, बंदूक और पिस्तौल की आवाज़ में बात सुनाई देती है क्या? बम, बंदूक, पिस्तौल के धमाकों के बीच आवाज़ सुनाई देती है क्या? तो बातचीत के लिए सुनाई देती आवाज़ के लिए तो बम, बंदूक, धमाके बंद होने चाहिए।
नहीं, बातचीत के लिए बंद होने चाहिए।
बंद होने के बिना बात हो नहीं सकती। बम, बंदूक, पिस्तौल की आवाज़ यहीं पर मैं और आप बात कर रहे हैं और धमाके हो रहे हैं, तो बात होगी क्या?
तो आप अगर प्रधानमंत्री बनेंगे और पाकिस्तान का रवैया बदले नहीं, अगर 26/11 ट्रायल में प्रोग्रेस नहीं हो, अगर इन्फिल्ट्रेशन कंटिन्यू रहे, अगर एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ टेरर कंटिन्यू रहे, तो क्या टॉक्स आपकी सरकार करेगी पाकिस्तान के साथ?
आप नेगेटिव क्यों सोचते हो? अगर देश मजबूती का एहसास कराएगा तो साथी भी बदलेंगे, पड़ोसी भी बदलेंगे, माहौल भी बदलेगा।